Hello, I'm Andy, and today I want to share a build order which involves all the new cards which were recently added by the latest patch to the Spanish. And I had some ideas and I thought I would try them. And I think those cards are pretty insane or are pretty strong. And the way to utilize them with Spanish is usually with an Archaic H2 play. And yeah, so I think I'm just going to talk about that. So first off, what are the new cards? So at first there is a card which makes the next age up cheaper depending on how many cards you send at age, and also improves the time in which you age up. So you're at the very least you will always get a exile prince, and usually because you are still doing your build order and your standard stuff, you save around 40% of the age up, so you get like 500 to 1000 resources plus an exile prince, which is usually something you would take when you go to H3, and so you would get another like 8 crossbows or something. So it is very high value usually, this card. And the next card, which is very good with the Archaic rush or with the Archaic H2 play, is the Reconquista. So basically, for each 5 crossbowmen and pikemen you lost, you will get a Conquistador up to 10, and that is very strong. So this means you can play way more aggressive, because if you lose your army, you just send this shipment, and then you get like 1600 worth of resources in value in Dragoon type units, which don't cost any pop. So this is a very good card to come back into the game, and is even a good card in H3 or in Fortress Age. So I think if you plan on going with pikemen and crossbow, you should always have this card in your deck. And yeah, so it has a lot of comeback potential. That's what I'm trying to say. And the third card is the Marvelous Year card. So it's an H3 card which improves the gather rate and train time of all your villagers. So they train fast in the TCs, and also all existing villagers gather resources faster. This feels very strong. So the duration is for 6 minutes, so 365 seconds. And this means that for those 5 minutes you will have a lot of tempo, you will get a decent boom because your villagers will spawn faster, and I like it. I didn't do the math on it yet, so maybe I will in the future, but so far it feels very strong just using it, so you just get insane tempo with this card. Okay, so let's quickly talk about the core or the idea. So in this game I'm playing against USA, who's also going on the trade post, on the trade route. With Spanish, what is I think is always good is to get trading posts. So, and the best way I figured to do this would be with 3 villagers, then advanced TP, and then you would get 2 trading posts in transition. Maybe let's quickly talk about H1 first. So maybe start at the start. So in H1 you will typically just only gather food. You will get the 3 villagers. You will age up with 15 villagers usually, so there will be a bit idle time. You want to go for food and wood treasures mainly. Experience also helps a bit, but it's mainly food and wood treasures. You age up with the 500 food card. So 500 food means you can basically train pikemen, and during transition you send all your villagers to wood, and this means that you have enough wood for 2 trading posts with advanced TPs, and you have enough wood for 2 barracks. So in this game I fucked up my macro a bit, so it could have been a bit cleaner. Usually you want 1 villager on each barracks, but it's not the biggest of deals. So yeah, it's like there will always something happen in your game, so don't let that throw you off if you you overgather for a little bit. Okay, so then once you're in age 2, you want to immediately send these 700 wood, and you should have 2 shipments already. So after the 700 wood arrives, you will usually be ready to send 700 food immediately. And with these shipments, you should be able to pump out a lot of units early. Don't forget to build a lot of houses, because you will need a lot of houses with 2 barracks crossbow pike production. And yeah, so with these units you can just be aggressive. So you can either start with pikemen or with crossbows. I think pikemen are usually the more safe option, just in case the enemy is going for cav. Then your crossbows would just get killed by the cav and you cannot escape. And with pikemen, even if the enemy would go, for example, for skirmishers, then you would maybe lose 1 or 2 pikemen, but you will still be fine in the long run. And yeah, so with these units, what you typically want to do is you want to contest the map. In this case, in this game, I am going for his trading route. So he went for a pretty early stagecoach, which I think is ambitious. Yeah, so I'm trying to work on that. If he doesn't have TPs or stagecoach or stuff on the map, you can use your 10 crossbows to snipe some villagers, or you can use your pikemen to kill a house or something. Usually, you don't want to overcommit until you know you can finish him, and you don't have to. It's not an all-in push. You have a lot of economy behind it, and so yeah, just stay aggressive, force him to be defensive in a way, kill forward stuff, and yeah, archaic units are very cost efficient, and you have a lot of tempo with Spanish because you have more shipments. So at the start you should have a good start anyway, and should be able to trade decently. Okay, usually with the 600 wood, what I would get is the stagecoach. So it's like the 5th card. After that I get my stagecoach, and I usually also get a market, and I would get hunting dogs and the gangsaw upgrade in the market, so the first wood and food upgrade. And yeah, so you would also have to transition to your eco from time to time, so you can keep producing crossbows. It depends, so you would have to switch around a bit at the start. Yeah, but usually just summon food and summon wood, and you just try to keep the resources low and your units high, and then you will be able. So it's you have to play it a few times to get a feel for it, but it's not too hard in my opinion. Okay, so what normally happens at 8 to 12 minutes, so we are starting at that now. So usually at this point around in the game, you will put on so much pressure that there will maybe be a fight. So now he's, in my opinion, so I'm just going to hide the decks now. So in my opinion, he's forced to take an engagement now because I did too much economic damage. So if he's going to take the fight and you can get an even trade, you should most of the time just take it. And the idea behind that is, if you would lose that fight, I'm putting my deck in again, then you just send the Conquistador card, and you would get like 5 to 10 Conquistadors. So usually I would send it once I can have like 7 Conquistadors. And but if you get an even trade and you would just send this card, then you just get a lot of value and keep the momentum up. He maybe would have to recover his losses. So it's, if you trade even, it's usually okay for you. Yeah, but you shouldn't fight if you get cleaned up or if it's obvious. So avoid that typically. If he's not giving you a fight like that, then you can also just use the Ageup card and go to the next age and maybe try again with Falconets. So this is usually what I would do. In this game I wasn't forced at all to do anything because I have 40 Ps with Stagecoach, and the economy with 40 P Stagecoach is just it's just GG. So I wasn't forced to do anything. So I would just stay there and defend it, and I would win it eventually. So that's what my thought was. Okay, so in H3, usually you send the Exile Prince card, I would call it now, just because that's what it is. Once you send like 6 cards, 6 to 7 in H2, and then you can go to H3. I often go with the crossbows or the pikemen just because I have a lot of them and I will upgrade them anyway. You could also just take the Town Center wagon if you want to boom, or you could also take the hussars because the hussars are the most value in from the H3 Ageup politicians. So it really depends. I think they're all viable in some scenarios. So yeah, once you're in H3, you can just stick to your crossbow and pikemen. They are really good, and there's no reason for you to switch. You can use the Archaic cards to improve them even more. You can use the Arsenal upgrade, Breastplate I think it's called, to improve their health and the HP of them even more. So yeah, those are the options. You can also add in Lancers to your army, or Cavalryns or Falconets, but the core of your army can always be the Archaic units. You have even the option to go to H4, and with a politician you can get the guard upgrades for free, and so you really don't ever need to switch to something else than crossbow and pikemen. And yeah, in H3 you also have the option to go for the Glorious Year, so this card I talked about at the start, which improves the gather rate for 365 seconds. As said in the beginning, this will really boost your economy for quite some time, and that often means with your cost-efficient army that you can finish the game in 20 minutes. So this was it for the strategy. I will upload another video of this strategy, which took a bit longer, so you can see how you can play it out if it goes to industrial, and what happens if someone is camping. And you can also watch that. And you can leave your thoughts in the comments. And I will also leave the description, or I will also put in the build order in the description. So you can also read that if you are more into reading. So thanks for watching, have a good day, and see you guys around. Bye bye!